I'll sit over here.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So this is Twilight Imperium. It is my favorite game of all time.
Can I hear you?
What? Yeah, can you hear me?
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is a grand conquest game of, politics, trade. What?
He's chomped on shit that I was watching in the video.
Sorry.
Is Kenneth watching the kids?
Yeah, I'm using the restroom.
Oh, cool.
Someone's watching.
Yes.
I just wanted to see my
Oh,
hand.
okay.
Nice.
So the game is played to 14 victory points. We're playing to 14. But where did the victory point track go? Here it is. All right. Playing to 14 victory points. We'll probably keep it somewhere else than here, but everyone is going to start the game obviously with your home planet. It is asymmetrical, meaning that everybody's faction does different things. The way that this game works is it's played over rounds. It's going to have a 9 rounds. Each basically round you do actions when it's your turn. So every time it's your turn, which is going to be in turn order, comes to an action, and you do one of 3 kinds of actions. So the first kind of, so basically once you run out of actions that you're able to do in a round, then you're most likely going to pass, and then you are done until everybody else passes. Once everybody passes, then the round's over. So you're gonna be doing actions every single turn. So every time it comes around, you're gonna do an action. Cool. So after that, everybody's gonna kind of rebuild the board, and then there's a thing after somebody takes Mechatol Rex called the agenda phase, which is like a law passing phase where everybody gets to pass laws. So obviously, you guys looking at your board, looking at the board, cool. There's planets, there's asteroid fields, there's a lot of things. There's a lot to do in this game. What you are going to most likely want to do is every round there's going to be one of these objectives. And it's going to be something like own 2 unit upgrade technologies. These are the objectives. They're going to be public for everyone. So everybody can score these objectives. So the first 2 will be placed right here. Whatever these first 2 objectives are, these are how you score victory points. So when you do these objectives, you score the victory point. You can't score it more than once. So when this one is like own 2 unit upgrade technologies, and then this has 2 systems that contain legendary planets, Mechatol Rex, or anomalies. So basically, these are things that if you do them at the end of the round, you can score 1 and only 1. So you can score 1 secret objective, which everybody's going to have at least 1 secret objective, and 1 public objective. So at the end of the round, you're most likely going to score 2 points if you have stuff to be able to do. First 1 to 14 points wins, obviously. So remember these objectives. They're going to be displayed for public, for everybody to know what they are at all times. So basically, your whole game is centered around trying to complete objectives and doing whatever it is to get victory points. These are, of course, victory points. There's another way to get a victory point, which is by conquering Mechatol Rex. There's other ways to get victory points. It might be a artifact, so you've explored a lot of things, and then you get an artifact. That's really cool. So there's different ways to get victory points, but in general, you're most likely going to be scoring around, 10 to 11 via these cards, and then maybe 3 secret objectives / other ways of getting victory points. Yes, Maddie?
So can you remind me for the Mechatol Rex, so someone conquers it, they get the points.
Yeah.
If they lose it, do they lose the
No, you get that for the rest of the game. The first person to Mechatol Rex gets the victory point.
Okay,
Oh, so it's
only
just
the
1
first
point.
person.
Only the first person, so it's a race to Mechatol Rex.
Very good. If you want it.
I should have said, this is the Twilight War, so Brian used to be the previous emperor. He has been overthrown, and so now we are all vying for control for being the emperor. So
Who's mad at me?
it's been another 1,000
my
years.
Policies?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
I like your green hat.
So we're trying. Basically, we are 8 different factions trying to vie for control to be the Twilight Emperor by showing that we can get those victory points. Cool. Okay, so what does it look like when it's your turn? Obviously, there's a lot of plastic, there's a lot of little chits and pieces. it seems like a lot, but really, there's only a few things that you can do on your turn. Everybody, I want to take a look at this kind of hexagonal spot on your board. This is your command point economy. This is like its own little economy itself. There's 3 in tactics, there's 3 flip face up in fleet pool, and then there's 2 in strategy.
Oh, okay. I didn't do that.
This one. This one. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, can you repeat it again,
So
Cameron?
it's 3, 3, 2.
3, 3, 2.
And
Okay.
the ones in fleet you put with the little ships facing up.
Okay.
So at the beginning of the round, before anything happens, we have
3, 3, 2.
the
I don't have
strategy cards. There are 8 strategy cards, 1 for each player. Leadership, diplomacy, politics, construction, trade, warfare, technology, and imperial. That sure is a lot, but you're only going to really ever get 1. You can always do the other action when it's another person does it. But starting with the speaker, they pick their first ability, whatever it is, and then going from the left of the speaker order, everybody picks an ability. They have it in front of them. This is their starting strategy card. So every round you're only going to have 1 strategy card, and it gives you something really good that turn that you get only, but everybody else can do something sort of similar that is beneath it. But everybody's going to have one of these strategy cards, which is their like strategy for the turn. So these 8 will go out to everybody in the strategy round. When it is your turn, you can do one of 3 actions. The first action that I'll explain is the component act, is a tactical action. So down on the board, in your little pool of 3 tactics things, if you do a tactical action, it is pretty much explained over on the side of the little hexagonal board what the tactical action does. So basically, you choose anywhere on the board, and you are activating that system. Now this is a useful action to move units and build units. So if you want to do a tactical action, you're basically using that system for some means. So a lot of people use tactical actions to move and fight. So let's say I want to move right here. I put my little chit on the pieces right here. And then I can move ships and units into that space. So key concept right now is planets and capacity. So everybody's got little planets that they all have, right? These have, maybe everybody's got some. Oh yes, you got some. Okay, so everybody's got planets. They all have different values on them. If you're wanting to expand out and get more planets, you're going to have more resources to do what it is you need to do. So planets all have a material value on them, which is in yellow, and a influence value, which is blue. When you take control of a planet, you get these cards for that planet. And that's every planet on the board has a card specific to it. So obviously you might want to get these planets.
Oh, so these like correspond with an actual planet.
It's
on
your
it.
Jordan.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
good to know.
You own Jordan. I own Ulysses 1 and Rog. So I own these potato chip asteroids.
And what's
Like
the
potato chip?
what is the difference for the color of the planet?
Tags.
Oh yeah, so that will be, if you go to that planet and you explore the planet, you get a specific kind of card that you draw as an exploration.
And it can only be done once.
And also, some objectives might be own to hazardous planets. So on the back of everybody's strategy card phase, on the back,
Yes.
it will tell you what each planet is. There's the military planet, the hazardous planet, and the
Cultural
planet.
hazardous industrial.
Yeah, cultural, hazardous, industrial. So maybe there's an objective that says control 2 industrial planets.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
But it also just determines the card you draw when you get there.
Yeah, dude, that's not tech.
So this is like a strategy card.
What is
That explains all 8 of the strategy cards.
Take a look 'cause it
Tells you
matches
how the
the
turn
text.
goes. Yes, so that's a little player aid.
Does it?
Right
I thought
on.
this
Okay, cool.
But it has like this blue. Anyway.
Yeah, it's tech and cultural.
Oh yeah, so that is a tech skip. So some planets have tech skips. Ooh, I have a red tech skip. Nice. Oh, and a blue tech skip.
Like if you're there, it's just one less to pay for stuff.
Yes.
Right, but you have to exhaust the planet.
What are tech skips?
I don't know.
I'm
You have
lost.
a green tech skip.
Meaning, if you have to pay for something,
We'll
like,
get there in a bit.
Okay.
it's cheaper for you.
Anyway,
It's like
so
the
Yeah.
dot.
Okay.
key concept. Anytime you have little yellow stuff, including stuff face up in your own little personal pile, that's trade goods. That's money you can use to do stuff. Also, you can you have your planets. If you ever want to use them, you just flip them over, and you use whatever value, either the trade good or the influence value for that planet. You can't use both at the same time. You just use one or the other, and then you use all of it, and it's been exhausted until the end of the round when you flip them all back over. You flip them over, they're used, whatever it is. But anyway, back to the tactical action and moving dudes. So, I don't know if Jirai, I wish Jirai actually might.
To explain.
Well, we've always had capacity wrong, so.
Do you want to pull Dry in real fast?
Or go ask him.
I mean,
What?
they're probably fine.
Can we bring them in?
Yeah, can you get Jirai and Kenneth in here really quick?
No, drag Kenneth.
Very cool.
Just really quick.
Please excuse us for intermission. Yeah, play some elevator music.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Is this rules we got wrong previously?
Yes, so capacity. When you move your ships and your other things to other places, fighters, these guys, little tiny guys, they can't move on their own to other places. Neither can infantry, little flags. They can't move on their own to other places. They have to be carried. Capacity is, every ship has a capacity of what it can hold. So, like for example, my carrier, where is my carrier, has 4 capacity. I can carry 4 infantry or fighters in my carrier. It's not 8. I think we've always thought it was 8.
I
Right?
thought we said infantry didn't count as.
No. Okay, but also,
It was 8 because I thought it was 2 to 1.
Yeah, I
No.
thought it was
Infantry to
2.
1.
yes, that's when buying it. However, you can't transport 8 fighters. That's what we had wrong for each of these.
Okay.
You can't transport 8 fighters. Also, another thing that is important is that everybody's fleet size is determined by the number of chits in their fleet pool. So I have 3 chips in my fleet pool. Everybody has 3 in their fleet pool. So look, I got a cruiser and 2 carriers. I have fleet capacity. Everybody's fleet capacity can't exceed what it is. Fighters do not count, and infantry do not count. However, you still cannot exceed capacity in the system you're in. So you have to have enough ships in that system to hold the amount of fighters. You can't have infinite fighters in the system.
Oh, I definitely
So, yes. So that's the thing. You can't have infinite fighters in the system. However, you can have unlimited number of infantry on the planet. So
You can't have ground-based
So-
fighters.
Okay, fighters have to be with another ship that can
Yes,
carry
can
them.
carry
They
them.
can't just like.
you
free-
can't
free
exceed your
float.
capacity.
What about dock?
So say like these guys will
Your dock has
out.
5 capacity of holding. Everybody's dock has, everybody's PDS has a number of capacity.
What,
It has like 3
Yes.
fighters. 3 fighters.
you said that
Oh, wait.
the fleet, like the number of ships you have, corresponds to how many like ships.
Regular ships.
So does the flagship count as one of those?
Yes, the flagship can't as well.
Do I have
Okay,
my Genesis
so-
out or no?
You do start with Genesis, yes.
Wait.
Oh no, you don't say that's your flagship.
Oh, and so how do you
So
get
this would not
Right
work.
there.
What's up?
So
Yeah.
this would not work. You couldn't just have fighters.
I can hang out because the space dock can hold up to 3 fighters on its own. It depends on what your space dock does.
Oh,
that? This
actually.
is an advanced carrier, right?
Oh, okay. So these would be okay as long as you have a space dock.
Yeah, you
But
do
say
everything.
this wasn't here,
Mhm.
then this would not work.
That would not work. Those
Okay.
fighters, no, actually, technically, those would count towards your fleet capacity. So that's 2 ships. You have 3 ships in the area. Right?
Okay, so as long as it's not like a low
Yes.
amount of fighters. Okay, I understand.
Okay, so when bringing stuff, I have 2 carriers and a cruiser. My cruiser's capacity is 0. My carrier's capacity is 4 apiece. If I wanted to move stuff, I could bring 8 fighters or infantry along with me. So, I've activated the system. I can move people that I want into the system. So let's say I move 1 carrier and he's going to bring 2 little infantry with him because he can carry 4. Whatever their speed is on the board, their move number, everybody's got a move number for their ships as well. That's the number of spaces it can move. Right?
Axel, please don't touch
So, my carrier, where is it? It will move 1, so I can move 1 space with it, which is nice because I've activated the system. I can bring my 2 little infantry along. I can put them on the planet, and then boom, I have the planet.
Wow.
Okay, that's cool. What if I moved into that system and somebody else was in that system? We're getting into a fight.
It's like like you can't like. Just
Yeah, there's no getting around it.
Okay.
You are getting into a fight.
It is always drive-by shooting.
Yes. So a few rules on movement. You cannot move into. You can't move through other people's ships. You can't move through the ships. You have to stop and fight them, whatever it is. Some of these spaces, like asteroid fields, you can't go into if you don't have the technology. Nobody can go into nebula. People can slingshot themselves through gravity rifts.
Are you sure? I thought people could like just jump through, leapfrog through somebody if like somebody had an occupied system. I'm pretty sure you can go through.
Nope, you have to have a technology to do it, which is
Oh.
Anti-man.
But there's technologies for nebulas, right?
nebula. You can actually be in. So nebulas are fine. They just add defensive value.
And anybody can do the wormholes.
Anybody can do the wormhole. So I have the wormhole kind of just what I bought for you.
Technology.
All right. So obviously everybody can move their wormholes to other spots. Somebody
Oh,
wants to put all the
how
wormholes on
cool.
the board.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I couldn't see him last time.
Yeah. So we put a little standy sprites on the board.
Are these 3D printed?
Yeah, they're 3D printed.
Nice.
Is that from the wormholes?
That's cool.
One.
Yeah, so we can all see it.
What boy?
That. What is that?
Is
Is
this
this a
all out?
worm?
That's a delta wormhole. Yeah. And it's to kind of to his home planet, which is
Oh.
right there.
Damn.
Ask Maddie.
Wasn't this?
Guys, are
Didn't you
there
play this
extra ones?
last time, Maddie?
Wormholes?
What?
Are there extra
I
wormholes?
played
Yeah, you can
the
put
turtles
those in the wormholes.
Oh.
You can have one
one
of
at
the
a time, so they're
Combat.
Okay. Somebody was like.
Guys,
Need a beta.
Maybe it was Sam.
Okay. Other thing on rules. Where's Uriah? I need Uriah.
This is Ancient Aliens.
And I need Brian too. I need everybody to hear this next thing too.
You know what? I'm gonna walk away now.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Put that one right there.
Okay.
Excellent.
So
Right for the trifling.
can't move into enemies. You can't move through enemies. Can't move into certain stuff, right? Just depends. Can move into wormholes, but it's going to be like, remember, you're counting, like if you move into this space, then you want to go to another wormhole. It's going to be another move, right? And you have to have activated the system you're going to, right? Okay, this is a big one. I think we may have played with this, but I'm not sure about
New
this.
rule?
If you have a command token in the system, you can't move units out of the system with a command
Because
token.
it's activated.
Correct, we've done that.
Okay, good. I was making
That,
sure.
that means it's activated.
Yeah, 'cause-
Well, no. So, like, say that I built in this I couldn't move any of these units because I
yeah,
built them.
yeah.
Not
so,
from the video I was seeing.
Yes, but that's not the rule. The rule I could even show you in the rules that you can't move units that have a command token in them. They probably messed it up.
How do you
Stay in the
remove
nest for a
that?
little bit.
How do you undo that? How do you?
The next
You
one.
Well,
move first
there's
and then produce.
a strategy card called Warfare that you can do that with.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that,
Is it just you have to wait till the next turn and then
yeah, you have to wait
command?
till the next
Okay. Okay.
So basically, you're only ever going to activate a system once with
yeah,
your
you
tactical.
you put the token where you want to move your stuff, and then produce.
Yes. So
Yeah, I think we played like that last.
Yeah, we played that last time.
I know people might have built like way back in like a different like their home planet. They might have had 2 space docks that they built from, and then they moved things through to
In the
it.
same turn.
But you can't move units out of spaces that have command tokens.
Yep.
Very good.
So
Correct.
now these guys are here. They're locked here as long as that command token's here, which is why the diplomacy action. Is it diplomacy?
Imperial.
Yeah,
No.
the one where we all lay.
The one where everybody plays a token there from
I
their.
thought that was.
That was Imperial.
I thought it was diplomacy.
No idea.
Yes, it's diplomacy. So yeah, diplomacy you can like lock out a system from everybody using it, right?
Because you can't move into it or out of it.
So that's kind of nice.
One does not simply walk out of order.
Okay, so next thing that you do. So basically, if there's a fight, there is a lot of dice rolling. So everybody's value for their everybody has values on their sheet for the dice roll. So it just depends on what dice you're rolling. So if I have 1 cruiser and 2 infantry. It goes in order. First, if they have any PDS, which is a planetary defense system, they're going to shoot at you on the way in. So the PDS, roll the dice. It's a D10, so 1 through 10 dice. PDS will hit on whatever. And it doesn't even have PDS researched. It's something you have to research. People's PDS has to be researched.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
So yeah, in the tactical action,
You have no PDS?
we're going to go to movement, move ships, space cannon offense. So actually, technically, anybody can shoot in space cannon offense, which is why Kenneth really pisses people off.
So we're talking about space combat, like when you go into some place with somebody else.
Well, technically, anytime you move, this whole list goes on. But
Okay.
like, if there's nobody there,
It might not be applicable.
yeah.
So, what do you mean when you say anyone can shoot in space cannon off?
So if their PDS, if their planetary defense system can reach your movement, they can shoot at you with their little cannons on
Don't
their
you
planes.
remember what I did?
Don't you remember, Kenneth?
Yeah, I remember Kenneth shooting and us
So
all
technically,
being
anytime
frustrated.
somebody moves, somebody can shoot at you, and it doesn't have to be
If
the
you're
person-
within range.
Yeah, if you're within range, right?
Okay.
Which
So
is
that's-
one planet.
Space cannon offense.
Thank you so much.
Then we get into the fight. The fight is the first thing that happens is anti-fighter barrage. Some units, like the destroyer, have anti-fighter barrage. That's 2 or dice or however many dice that you roll that destroys fighters. Bam, bam. Right. So if you roll a 9, mine looks like a 9 times 2. So if I roll 2 9s, I can destroy 2 fighters with that anti-fighter barrage. Cool. That destroys the fighters before the combat even happens. Then there's something about announcing retreats. If you want to retreat, people can retreat then.
Hey Asher,
Then
come here Asher.
everybody is going to make the combat roll at the same time. So all the ships involved are going to roll dice. We have a big bag of dice that you can basically choose colors that match to your ship. So like, if I have 1 carrier and like 1 dreadnought, I can get like 1 blue and 1 red. I'll be like, oh, the carrier's blue, the dreadnought's
And
red.
there's also blackberries.
We roll the dice. Everything hits on whatever that ship says it hits on, it will hit. So, for example, my cruiser has combat 7. If I roll a 7 or above, I hit. Right. Everything takes hits. So once you've gotten a number of hits with however many dice you roll, whatever it is, it can be a lot because there can be a big space combat.
Wait, so that's how much you need to be able to have that hit somebody, or to hit
Yeah.
it?
So basically, let's say I got into combat with a Kenneth ship, a Kenneth cruiser. So my carrier versus a Kenneth cruiser. We both roll a dice, 1 for my carrier, 1 for his cruiser. I got a hit on him, and he did not get a hit on me. He has to then assign his hits to his dudes. So, say I rolled a 10 and he rolled a 2.
Mhm.
I got the hits, he didn't. I won the combat, he has to take his hits.
So
Some
you would,
units have sustained damage, which you can assign hits to by flipping over, which means they can take 2 damage, right? And then if it doesn't, if like the combat is not over, you can go again. So basically you go another round where the person can decide to retreat or not, so on and so forth. So basically you go till the combat's over, and then it's done, right? And then you can land your people on the planet. If they have a planetary defense system on the planet you're landing on, they can shoot at you again. This is called planet space combat defense. So then they can shoot at your little infantry coming down, and then the infantry, when they land on the planet, if there's other infantry on the planet, then another fight happens with the infantry.
Lots of
Right.
fights.
Lots of fights.
so you get a hit if you get like, so for this one, a 7 or above.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
okay, thank you. That makes
We're
sense.
still
Okay,
going
thanks.
with if a carrier holds infantry, that if you destroy the carrier, the infantry dies.
No, technically only happens at the end of the round.
So you still go through all of.
But if I bring in a carrier, they don't drop right away, right?
They don't drop right away.
Those are the math.
You gotta get more than the shot though.
Technically, you don't have to go down to your capacity until the end of the round, or until the end of the turn. So, like, you can always bring more
You don't like those dance moves?
fighters than necessary,
How about this?
however, you still have to destroy them at the end of the round.
I should get some water.
How about This thing's moving.
It was for Kenneth specific.
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Is that a good
We'll just move on.
So yeah, a infantry fight will happen where people's
Thank you.
ground forces will fight. Then, if they have any space stocks there, you destroy their space stock. If they have any PDS there, you destroy their PDS. Oh, I forgot about bombardment. So you can also shoot at the planet with your ships there that have bombardment. If the ship has a bombardment ability, you can shoot at the planet before you land on it.
Wow, meanie.
Yes.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Asher, do you want some more grapes? Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
bombardment.
so
Okay, thank you.
most people's dreadnoughts and war suns, maybe their flagship will have bombardment. Awesome.
Do I have that? No, I don't have that out.
Nobody's got a dreadnought out yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now the big one is building.
Building.
So you activate a system that has a space dock on it. You can build in that system. If you want to build in that system, you have to spend resources to build the number of production. So everybody's space stocks has a production number.
Yep.
That's the number of units you can build in that space stock. So you can look at your sheet. You can see everything's got a cost.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Everything's got a production value for their space stock. So
Yeah.
most people's space stock is like +2 to the planet that they're on.
Yeah.
But some people's might just be production 5, like mine.
Two more. Yeah, so I mean like.
What is
higher-
production X?
So yours production X, where X is the value of the planet that it's on. So
Okay.
this is 4 plus 2 is 6.
Okay.
So you could build 6 units on your turn.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to build units on this system, activate that system, spend money to build units. So whatever the cost is, I can choose the cost, right?
1 second. Is it 6 units or 6 cost worth of
6
units?
units.
So you do like 6 cruises.
Ooh.
Yes.
If
Yes. If you have the money. If you have the money.
And how do you know what the money, like how much it's going to cost for each cruiser?
It's got a cost on each. Everything's got a cost.
Okay. What about the PDS?
PDS and space stocks can only be built on construction action.
Ah. Okay, great.
Of course, I can do the fun thing.
Is it like a upgrade that you get the?
Yeah, you have to buy
PDS
PDS.
2.0.
You have to like
Which is,
research it.
I started-
Well, no. You can only build PDSs with construction action.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
the construction action card, like strategy
Oh
card,
yeah, you're
It's
right.
like-
You're right.
that's the only way you can build PDSs.
It's very
Okay.
good how action works. But on space, not build check.
Anyway, you can build 2 every time you build infantry or fighters. You build 2 for 1. So you pay the
That's what I
cost
did.
and you build
that
2
what it is?
fighters or 2
Yeah,
infantry.
I treat alpha and betas adjacent to each other.
So does that mean it counts as 1 unit or it counts as 2 units?
So
1 unit to build, but you
So that
build
means
2.
like for you,
For that
you
cost.
can go to that
Okay,
data.
so you could.
So you see,
build
there's like 2 flags and
You
2
could
fighters next to
shoot
the
at all
cost.
the wormholes on the board.
2 flags and 2 fighters.
So you look at your infantry.
yes.
There's
You
2
can
flags.
shoot-
There's 2
shoot-
fighters.
you can
Yes.
shoot their whole
That
through.
should be a little visual
No, 'cause they
reminder
won't
that
move.
you can build 2 for 1.
Oh,
Okay.
but it's next to it if you have like a distance
Cool.
thing.
But
So
this one is 1 space away from all the wormholes.
that is the tactical
That-
Go to
action.
that one and then sorry.
So that's the tactical action. It's the most like in-depth action, but not everything's going to activate every single time, right? So
Word.
where's Bob?
Where's mom?
Where's mine?
So if I have money to spend, I can spend my trade goods if I have them. I can spend my planets if I have them to buy stuff. Anyway, you're just buying stuff and putting it on that space if you activate that system. Cool.
I'm gonna buy some spinners.
Yeah.
Fidget
So
Spinners for my planet.
that's the tactical action. Once you run out of these little chits in your tactical pool, you can't take any more tactical actions. So everybody's only gonna have 3 tactical actions. But if you save them, you can keep them in the next round. So you don't have to spend all your tactical actions. The other type of action that you can do, and that is where this game, I think this is the most unique mechanic in this game, is doing your strategy cards as an action. So, each of these strategy cards does something different. If you do the action, everybody else can also do a weaker version of the action by spending tokens in their strategy pool, which is the one that has 2 in the bottom of it down. So, you basically get to do the top one for free, usually. for the most part. And then everybody else can spend a strategy token in the bottom one to get something that's like it. So, let's go over these each one at a time because they are very important.
How many are there?
There's 8,
Okay.
one for each of us. So every turn, one person's gonna have.
Oh, that means we can't
So
get
you
the
have
extra
to
money on
rotate
there.
it, the strategy card?
The speaker chooses first,
Yeah,
and then,
and then
we
you
go in
release
an order.
others.
So you're lucky; you get to choose second.
Yee.
So
Choose wisely.
leadership is the first one. If you activate your leadership action, you gain 3 command tokens from your supply. So everybody's got command tokens that are in their supply. You can add them to anywhere. Yep. No, these ones. So your triangles.
So these are the same thing as these guys.
Yeah, so these are command tokens. These
Right.
triangle tokens are command tokens. These are a very important economy that everybody's got. So you gain 3 just from your supply. You can distribute them anywhere. Remember, if you put them in the tactics pool, that gives you more tactical actions. If you put them in the fleet pool, that gives you bigger fleets.
And that's permanent?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can move them around at the end of the round, so it's total possible. The strategy one is what you can use to do the action on other people's turns. So maybe 2 or 3 in that if you really want to make use of somebody else's strategy.
And as long as you have like the amount of tokens in that pool, you can spend that. As
Well,
many
if
times
you're out of strategy tokens in the strategy pool, you can't use.
Right, but like say I have like 3 strategy tokens, can I use it 3 times on 3 separate like cards?
Yeah, 3 separate cards.
Yeah.
So then the leadership primary ability, the top one is spend any amount of influence to gain 1 command token for every 3 influence spent. So you can also spend influence from planets you control to gain more command tokens. Now the bottom action, so these secondary abilities, again, are stuff that everybody can do when you activate this. So when you activate it, everybody else is able to do the secondary ability, which is spend any amount of influence to gain 1 command token for every 3 influence spent. So basically once you have the command token, you're going to have it for the rest of the game. You're not going to lose it, but you're going to have to like redistribute things and stuff. So you can do this at the bottom action to gain more command tokens by spending influence for planets you control. Remember, influence is the blue value on planets. So if you spend 3, you can gain a command token. Cool. As leadership, diplomacy, number 2. I should point out also, these strategy cards are turn order. So if you have leadership, you're going first. If you have diplomacy, you're going second. It's your turn order.
Okay.
So if you really want the jump on something, you want to get an earlier card too. What's up?
You might explain this, but like when someone activates that, that's the only chance you get to use
Yes.
the secondary
So
ability.
you can stall people out. You
Yeah.
like say, I really need technology. And you can be like,
I'm not gonna
no, pay me.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's really funny.
But that's for diplomacy, or are we talking
That's for
about
any of
leadership?
those-
No, this is
So for
any of these cards.
them,
You can
choose-
stall people out from not activating it. So
Yeah,
you
so
can
you
do
Their
can
it-
second
choose
ability?
to just do
Yeah.
other. You can choose to do like other stuff.
For example,
but not actually use. your
Everybody
strategy
wants
card.
warfare secondary
Oh,
ability.
okay.
Everybody wants the warfare second ability.
I don't remember.
It's like it allows you to build in your home system.
Oh, yeah.
You
So
always-
everybody wants the warfare secondary ability.
Yeah.
But the warfare person might not want to pop it every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, everybody wants the technology secondary ability.
That one.
That's where you.
Where you buy
research the
technology.
Oh.
Brian, you want one?
Technology.
Oh, I have one. Oh, yeah. Actually, it's over there.
Just so you
So.
can reference it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, diplomacy. Action. Number 2, diplomacy. You choose one system other than Mechatol Rex. Everybody puts a command token from their reinforcements, so not one that they own, but one from their reinforcements, on that planet. And that means basically you've locked up that system, right? At that point, you can also ready 2 planets that you've already exhausted. So if you flipped over 2 planets, you can refresh them. So that means you get more stuff to build.
So does that just make like that one planet like a neutral zone essentially? Okay.
Yeah.
The secondary ability for diplomacy is so everybody else that doesn't do that first one, you can spend one token from your strategy pool. Everybody's got the 2, and you can refresh 2 exhausted planets. Cool, easy, simple, awesome. Politics. Number 3. This is how the speaker order changes. A primary ability is choose a player other than the speaker. That player gains the speaker. So when you pop this, another person becomes the speaker unless you choose yourself. And you're already the speaker. You get to draw 2 action cards, which are great cards for doing stuff. And then you can look at the top 2 cards of the agenda deck and then place them at the top or the bottom. Doesn't matter. For the politics secondary action, you can spend a strategy token to gain 2 action cards. Neat. Construction. A lot of people like construction early game. It sucks late game because everybody's got all their stuff out. Construction. If you're the first person if you're the person that has this, you can place a PDS or a space dock on a planet you control, and you can also place a PDS on any planet. So you're building 2 things for free as construction. Everybody else, for secondary ability, has to spend 1 strategy token to... I didn't realize I wasn't really holding them up really close. Everybody else is spending 1 strategy token to place it on any other system. Then they can build a space dock or a system they control. So basically...
Might be better just to flash this guy in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if it's that much bigger.
Yep.
For reference. Oh, yeah. I guess like so whoever is watching later can reference it.
Yes. Let's reference this.
Yeah.
Pause video now.
Anyway, I can also hold him closer. Trade. Trade's awesome. So let's talk about this key concept of doing exchanges with people. Transactions. If you are at all ever adjacent to a player, you can start doing transactions. A transaction is like a change of stuff, a change of everything. Everybody starts the game with commodities, which are useless, but you can trade them to other people, and when you trade your commodities to other people, they turn into, you start with 4, so everybody's got a commodities thing that they have. Everybody's got commodities.
But they're useless.
They're useless, just like that. But you can give them to other players, and when you give them to other players, they turn into trade goods, which are... So you go from your gray to blue. You can do any exchange for these. So you can basically be like, I will give you a few commodities if you give me a few of your commodities. That's the most basic one. Like, we'll trade commodities for commodities. Cool. Other things that can change hands are everybody has 6 promissory notes. These are like contracts.
Where?
So these are my promissory notes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Everybody's got 6. One's a faction specific one.
Are they like this? Is this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got this little back here. This is a promissory note. You can trade these in exchanges.
You get perks.
Well, yeah, they do give perks. So.
And sometimes people win by those.
Yes, so I'm going to actually just briefly go over these just because I think it's important to briefly go over.
Does everybody have the same one?
Everybody's got the same 5, and then everybody's got a
One special
faction-specific one.
Okay, thank you. You already said that, my bad.
So, the cool one that everybody loves is support. Support for the throne. If you give this to another player, they get a victory point. If you ever attack them, then the victory point goes away. So you can trade support and support for another player, and that's like a pseudo alliance, right? Or you can trade a support for the throne for money, or you can trade a support for the throne already. Everybody loves this one too. Trade agreement. It can be a really good bargaining chip, but it's when the orange player, which is me, replenishes my commodities. I have to give that person that has this card all my commodities, and then they return this to me. Cool. Ceasefire is a good one to sell also if you're a very scary person. Basically, I can't move into a system. If I activate a system that you own and you hold this note, you can give me back this note and I can't move in that system. Cool. Political secret is I can't play action cards until the agenda has been resolved. So another player cannot vote, play action cards, or use faction abilities until that agenda has been resolved, when an agenda has been revealed. So basically, you can stop somebody from voting on an agenda if you sell it to somebody. Where's the last one? Ceasefire, trade agreement, support for the... Oh, alliance. Alliance is a cool one. Everybody's got a commander, and you give your ally that has this card your commander's ability. That's pretty cool. So those are the 3 things about trade. So this is kind of where the game is very cool. My favorite part of the game is the fact that you're doing transactions with people and you're trading stuff, you're trading favors. If things exchange hands immediately, that is a like, I can't remember it. It's
Binding.
What?
If it's immediate, it's binding.
Yeah, so if it's an immediate thing that happens, like I give you 3 commodities, you give me 2 commodities, We turn those into trade goods. That's immediate, that's binding, it happens right away. You can also do non-binding agreements, which is, hey, on this turn, I would like this planet. Can I have this planet? You can say, yes, I'll give you 3 trade goods for that planet. They'll be like, all right, cool. But they don't have to follow up on non-binding agreements. So you can do non-binding agreements, but...
And which ones are the binding agreements?
Binding agreements is something that happens immediately. Like you're trading stuff, your hands, trading stuff that like goes between hands.
Okay.
But-
Me and
And
Sam
that
are in a
only
non-binding
happens
one at the
between
moment
people that are
because nothing's
neighbors,
happened
right?
actually. but
Yeah,
we're
so you,
saying
in
we're-
order to, what?
No, he just said him and Sam are.
Okay, so in order to do any sort of transactions with people, you have to be a neighbor. So basically, you have to be touching somehow.
What about the wormhole?
Wormholes touch.
Okay.
Wormholes are considered adjacent, so yeah.
Okay, so
So
like
you
I
were
can trade
neighbors
with you,
with.
Cameron.
You are not on the A
Wait.
wormhole yet.
No
Oh,
one
once
yet,
I'm there,
but if
and if you were
Sam
there.
controls
Okay.
that, or if someone else controls that, then I'm a neighbor.
Yes.
When I
So
control that.
So are we neighbors then? Because Delta to.
okay,
No.
that was a
Actually,
long.
Delta's don't connected.
Not
I'm
yet.
like, we're sitting right next to each other.
I know.
guys.
and it-
That was a
That's
long-winded
when-
discussion to talk about 5, which is trade.
Is there a stock market in the game?
You can have both.
If you have the primary ability,
Dogecoin?
you just gain 3 trade goods.
Yes, I
That's
was
just
speculating on
3
Dogecoin.
money. Yeah, 3 money.
Ghost
Boom.
coin.
You also replenish your commodities. Yay, commodities. You also can tell other people to replenish their commodities. So you can be like, hey, Seth, you can replenish your commodities, but hey, I'll let you do it, but you have to give me a trade good.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Ah.
So you can...
But you have to give me your home planet.
and then you're like, no, I'm not going to replenish your commodities. So people that have already used their commodities for this turn can replenish them if the trade person says they can.
And from what I recall, Maddie is real good at this particular thing because she gets to choose 3.
Yeah, and Maddie can trade with anybody regardless of being adjacent. Maddie, you can trade with anyone regardless of being adjacent to them.
Whoa!
Wow.
Wait, where does it say that?
It's your faction ability, top right.
Isn't one of those?
Where's my faction ability?
Command token
Oh
is
yeah,
on.
who are not your neighbors? Whoa!
Business.
Hello everyone.
So Maddie,
Hello,
your faction
world.
abilities are
The con is open for business.
Business.
Okay, so the secondary action is that you have to spend one of your strategy tokens to then buy 3 your commodities back. So you have to do that to buy your commodities back, which is poopy because somebody could give it to you for free. Mm-hmm. All right.
And
So-
I don't have to spend a command token to resolve the secondary ability of the trade.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
so you can
that's
automatically
really nice.
replenish your commodities, and you get 6 commodities, so you're rich.
Yeah.
6 commodities.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
She found Bitcoin
So
in
you guys
2009
wanna make
after the
some
empire
trades?
fell.
Pretty much.
So yeah, everybody's faction you guys are starting to see does some. Warfare number 6. This is a cool one.
Punch.
It allows you to remove one of your command tokens that's already on the board, and then you gain it back. So you can put it back in any spot on your board, and then you can redistribute your command tokens on your sheet. The secondary is pretty cool. It's spend 1 token to do production ability on one of your home space docks. So if you want to build on a home space dock, Warfare secondary is good.
Right.
Regardless of if you've already activated that system, you can always do Warfare secondary. Cool. So this is a way that you can... Warfare is cool because you can like attack twice in a turn because you're removing a command token from the board, or it allows you to build and then move, right? Because you can build on that system, use Warfare, pop it, remove that token, and then you're able to move those units you just built. So that's what Warfare is generally useful for.
Immediately.
Cool, technology. Technology, we're going to have another aside to talk about technology. Technology. The first, I'm just going to explain the ability first, and then we'll talk about the technology tree. So, technology is, everybody's got a technology deck. It's got their faction-specific technologies. Everybody's got 2 faction-specific technologies. Everybody's got the same, like 20 technologies. Everybody got the same technologies on that sheet.
Flash the sheet.
Yeah, the sheet.
So it's
Yeah.
like cards like-
Everybody's got the same technology. There's a little card. They have a little and some of them are ship upgrades too. So it really depends.
Yeah. And barley is really
What are these?
It's just like, you know,
So everybody's got the same deck of technologies like this. Some people have like a faction specific like ship or anything, or something that replaces something already on there. when you do technology, you research a technology. That's a technology you can use the rest of the game. It just goes out in front of you into your play area. Remember it, Brian, because you have so many. You're like, oh, I have so many things, but I don't read my cards. You decided to play Jolnar. You decided to play University of Jolnar. Okay.
Whoops.
Okay. Then the secondary action of technology is to spend 6 resources to research the second one. So you can always research 2 if you get this.
Unless you're University of Jolnar and you just do it.
Yes. So number 7, the bottom one, is you have to spend 4 resources to research the technology.
Wait, just to make sure for the top one, they have to spend 6?
No, you get one for free, and then you can get a second one for
By
6.
spending 6, okay.
I don't think Jolnar has to pay the 6.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
And they also get the second action for free.
And you get the second action for free.
Well, no, they get the first action for free if they don't get the tech.
And the
Yeah, so if someone else takes tech and they activate it, I can take their primary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yes.
So everybody's technology has a technology tree.
and
The bottom left of the technology is the prerequisite requirements. The reason it's a tree is obviously you have to research the 2 blue before researching the 3 blue, right? So
Did you have these planets? I'm so
I'm gonna look at it.
These things aren't
Yes.
they on the planets or they're on
I
here?
called after I asked.
yes. So Astrid, this is the prerequisite. So you have to have already one of these,
Okay.
and then this is what it gives you. So it also gives
Oh,
you
okay.
one.
So like this one,
Hey,
you can just get this one because there's no prerequisite.
Can you
And
hand me
then,
my
When you're
2?
researching, got it.
yeah, and then
Oh.
as long as you already have the other one,
Oh,
then you
aggressive.
can get this one.
Oh, because you're all good cards.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
now I
He
get
just
it.
has it put out on a sheet.
I'm gonna shove this
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so all these cards are basically, there's temporal command suite is right here.
Great.
Cool. Oh,
Great. Great. Great.
can you put that over? This is his faction technology. Oopsie. You have 2 faction technologies.
oh,
I accidentally had yours in here
how do you know this is mine?
because it's got your.
Do I automatically have it unlocked?
No, that's a faction specific technology.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Everyone's got 2 faction specific technologies they can research that probably have a prerequisite on them. But
So if I'm understanding it correctly, just because for some of them, 2 blue, where it requires 2 blue, just means you have to,
have 2 blue.
and then you automatically unlock it, or
Well, you have to do the technology action, right? You have to spend your strategy token, or you have to own technology.
Hey, Asher, you want another grape?
Ah,
Ah,
Wasted mine.
cool. So basically, you have to have the prerequisite in order to run that technology. However, some people have already asked about this. These are skips. Some planets have skips on them, which can be used as a prerequisite. So that's a green skip right there.
Alright, here, let's show the camera.
It's not wingspan.
So
have not.
this planet's got a green skip on it. You can exhaust this planet to get 1 green prerequisite. So technologies are great. Technologies are fantastic. They allow you to move your ships faster. They allow you to reroll dice in combat. They allow you to blow up infantry on planets without ever having to invade it. So it just depends, because the further down a sheet you go, the further it goes. I'll explain it this way. Blue technologies are accelerator technologies. They're going to help you with movement. Green technologies are going to be with, they're going to help you, they're biotic technology, they're going to help you with maybe infantry and other stuff. The yellow technologies are economy technologies, they're going to help your economy. They might be make you things cheaper. You taking notes for Kris?
And
We
for
like some
myself.
Oh yeah. The red technologies are warfare technologies. They're going to help you blow people up.
nice.
Typically, I'm just going to explain, unless you're Brian's faction, what green is going to be biotic technology.
Biotic?
Biotic technology. So
Alive.
yes.
That's all I know.
Also, you notice that each of these ship upgrades has prerequisites. They basically make your ships better. They make them move faster, shoot better, whatever it is. The War Sun is also a technology you have to unlock. So if you ever want to build your Death Star, you have to unlock it.
So for the War
It's like a
Sun,
cheese ball.
it's you need to have 3 red technology,
And 1 yellow.
already unlocked, and then once that happens, then you can just get a War Sun.
No, yeah, you have to spend the money to build it.
Oh, well, okay, right.
You'd have to research it first.
You
And then
me
you could
3
build it.
red
And the resources doesn't matter if it's because the resources are these guys on the planets, right?
Mhm.
And so it doesn't matter if it's either the influence or the.
It's gotta be yellow.
Gotta be yellow.
So it can either be the yellow from your planets, or it can be
Or if you own trade
the
goods.
trade goods.
And you're,
And
if you
it's
own,
8 trade goods for a war zone.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to say about technology is you're probably only going to research 5 to 6 in a game.
I'm gonna research 12.
You might research 12 because you're the University
I
of
do
Jonah.
recommend getting your factions.
You don't always need to get your faction
I
specific
recommend
one.
it.
Sam,
Yes.
if you want, you can put this on the corner of the couch, and then you can have like a hard pad.
Actually,
Take
are
it.
there
That's
legs?
sweet.
Yeah, there's legs.
Yeah.
We should save this for combat encounters.
Oh yeah, I could roll the dice for that.
Okay. Sorry.
Would that be helpful, Cameron?
Yeah, maybe. I think you can always
Can
roll
you
on
guys
the
bring
table.
your baby table thingy?
Yeah, we could bring our baby
That
table.
fold
Oh, yeah.
table?
Put that.
Well, the thing is, I don't think combat's going to be nearly as intense as it used to be.
I told
Because
you
I don't think people are going to bring fighter screens that are the size of
Can I bring it with you?
10 ships or more.
That's what
Yeah.
you
We
think.
can still bring it if you'd like us to.
Sure.
Those were the days.
Which is why I do want some dice towers. Because
I
I
know.
can just have them like right here and there.
Thanks,
That'd be
Raya.
Okay, so yeah, you're typically only going to research 4 or 5 of these in a game. Maybe because you don't want to always spend 4 resources for a tech. So think about what you're going to do.
You should
What?
drill. I just thought of something. You should drill a dice tower into the wall.
Uh-huh.
Just put it in.
And
Okay.
you said everybody has 2 unique.
I will
Yeah.
definitely.
I only have 1.
This is nice.
I gave you the other one. That.
Right, and I think that is it. I don't know what happened to the other one.
Wait, we should find yours.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe it's here and I just got it mixed up
It
somewhere.
wasn't
Yeah.
your little.
Oh, wait, never mind. I'm just dumb.
Oh, we found it. Oh yeah, it's the upgrade to your flagship.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Cool. So technology, you gotta think about your tech tree. Maybe we are gonna be playing a 14-point game, so maybe you don't have to think about it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, your faction ones are these.
Oh, those are. Yeah, and then I get special things right here to start on with my technology.
Yep, you start with it.
Yeah.
I can't find your game,
Okay.
sorry.
Oh.
Which games?
Animals upon animals.
Oh yeah, it's in the. So
Oh.
The game files?
not the game closet. So
You
in
know
like
the wooden.
the wooden-
There's the little
Yeah, the
middle,
bottom.
Okay, sounds good.
not bottom, like
middle.
middle
Middle.
I'll
section.
look around.
Mid.
Mid.
It's pretty mid.
Okay, so that's technology. Really helps. There are objectives in the game that's like 2 of any 2 color, or get 2 for 2. That's like a win condition objective, like have 2 for 2. A lot of these objectives are like spend objectives, like spend influence or spend stuff. At the end of the round, you have to spend that money or that influence if you still have it. But there are technology objectives, so think about your tech tree like 2 for 2. Like having 2 and 2 trees is good. So having like 2 reds and 2 greens. Just depends. So I'm just telling you that beforehand so you can kind of plan around having 2 for 2 or 1 of any, I think. Okay, so yeah. That's technology. That's the tech tree. Like when you research the technology for like the ship, obviously you just place it over your spot. So if I got my cruiser too, I just put it over my current cruiser. Cool, and it makes it better. Awesome. So that's technology.
Bless ye kind.
The last one is Imperial.
Oh, thank you.
Imperial is allowing you to score outside of the end phase of the game. So it allows you to score 1 public objective if you have it. Also, if you're on Mechatol Rex, you score a victory point. So if you have 8 and you're on Mechatol Rex, the only way you're ever going to get this is if you have the speaker. So nobody wants to let you have a free victory point, usually. So this is a great way to score victory points. You can also, if you can't, you can draw 1 secret objective. You can score up to 3 secret objectives in the game.
Up to how many?
3. You only score 3 secret objectives. You'll be holding on to as many as you really want, but yeah, you can only score 3.
Do you get those 3 right from the beginning?
No, you only get 1 from the beginning.
So then you get more as you just complete them, or you use.
So that is the secondary ability of 8 is to draw another secret objective.
Okay.
Neat. That is this kind of action. So once you do that action, you flip it over. Means you can't do it again. You can't pass until you do this objective. So it has to happen in a round before you pass. The last kind of action is a component action. It might be a faction-specific ability that says action. It might be an agent that you have that says action. Or it might be an action card. Everybody's got action cards, and it might say action. You just do that action as your action.
Very good.
Cool. Those are the 3 types of actions you can do on your turn. You keep going around the circle. Not around the circle. Go in turn order of this. You go in turn order of the strategy. Where you do it action, 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 until everybody's passed. Once everybody's passed, then the round is over. We do a upkeep phase. Where's my upkeep phase? I need my quick reference.
You mean like repair units? Or wait, for action cards.
Oh yeah.
Upkeep phase versus.
So agenda phase, and then there's an upkeep phase. I'll have to read on the rules. So basically, at the end of the upkeep phase, you're going to basically refresh. You take your command tokens off the board, bring them back, refresh all your planets, do other things, and then we score objectives and stuff. And then we do the agenda phase. I think that's the turn order. I'll have to check that. But the agenda phase is a phase where we are betting influence. So I won't explain it really too much until we get to it for the first round. But we don't get the agenda phase until somebody takes the custodians off of Mechatol Rex.
That's a 6.
Yeah, that's the 6. So you have to spend 6 influence in order to get this 1 victory point, but then you can control Mechatol Rex.
So there's like 3 ways to score points from Mechatol Rex. Getting there first, getting this thing, and then also
This
having
is
the
getting there first, so 2 ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just 2 ways. Got it.
If
So
you have
Mech-
Imperial when you're there.
Yeah, so if you Imperial when you're there, you can get a point.
Oh, so 1 just getting there first out of the game,
Yeah.
and then got it.
But you have to spend 6 influence, which is blue,
Yeah.
in order to.
Where's blue?
Blue is like stuff on the
Oh.
planets.
Yeah, so you would
Oh, I
have
only,
cubes.
okay, so I need more influence
Yeah.
before I can go there.
Okay,
Thank you.
just like general talk about this game. There's obviously a lot of talking between people. There's a lot of wheeling and dealing. There's things that you can do that are going to generate heat. For example, taking Mechatol Rex first
What did I do?
generates a lot of heat.
Shooting people.
Shooting at people
I didn't shoot
generates a
them.
lot of heat. It's,
Taking people's whole planets.
Yeah, I ain't taking no more.
it's really so
just going
each
to
game
school.
is going to be so independent of each other. It's really hard to even determine what's going to happen. But you're trying to, well, be a if it becomes a 1v7, that's probably your fault because you were an asshole to everybody.
I did not. Maybe.
We should all take down the current emperor.
Or maybe
but I'm just going to school.
people just perceive a
I'm going to
threat.
university, I'm just
Or maybe people don't deal with you. They're like, no, I'm not going to let you wash your commodities. I'm not going to let you have your free commodities. Or no, I'm not going to do anything with you. General strategy, yeah. Things get crazy. This game's going to be long. It's going to be
How many rounds are there?
9.
9. Okay.
But if somebody gets to 14 before then, it's
That's over. Okay.
hopefully we'll do like an hour around. Hopefully.
We're probably not.
I don't know.
I don't know. We're
Like,
pretty quick. So, and
Me and Cameron will speed through it.
okay, a couple of things that I just kind of want to point out before we get into the game. Everybody has some cool guys over here. These are your agent, your commander, your hero, and your mech. A mech is a cool super infantry you can build. Mechs all have cool abilities. If it says deploy, you don't have to buy it. You can deploy it whenever it says. Other things, you can just buy them for whatever the cost is. They're like cooler infantry, right? They do a lot more things. Yours shoot things. We all know.
I didn't say anything.
16 damage. Okay.
Yeah. So everybody's mechs does things. That's cool. The commander and the hero are unlocked after you complete whatever's on it. And when you unlock it, you get some really cool stuff for your faction when you unlock your commander. And then your hero is the coolest thing that you get in the game whenever you unlock it, which is a one-time use that's going to completely change the turn.
Oh.
Usually, for example, it's like blowing Kenneth's planet up. Or for example, like Seth's I only know Seth's. It's like take like a zillion turns in a row with your flagship, right?
Your flagship and units and transports can move out of systems that contain your command tokens during this game round.
Yeah. So you can use your flagship an upteenth zillion to do it.
Nice.
So that's cool. Everybody's got that. Also, obviously, every faction is different, strong in their own ways, weak in other ways.
Should we just say?
I'm gonna
the abilities-
paraphrase. I'm gonna paraphrase everybody's abilities, but it's up to you in the top right corner to read them, to make sure you understand your own personal faction sheet, like what you're looking at here. It's up to you to do that. Okay, so basically, I am the clan of Sar. I can move everything everywhere all at once. I can just have a death ball. So I don't have to stay in my home system. I don't have to keep planets. I can scavenge planets I take, but I can bring my factories with me. So I can bring my space docks with me. So everything that I have can move with me.
Nice.
That's cool.
No matter your capacity.
My capacity is very high because my space docks have capacity.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
They're not bound to planets like your guys's are.
What is
Jiraiya is the Winu.
Weird flip.
He is the current stewards of the throne. A lot of his abilities revolve around going back to Mechatol Rex. He can like instantly teleport to Mechatol Rex when he unlocks those technologies. He has a lot of just like political influence and other things available to him. Brian's the Universities of Jolnar. He researches technology very, very quickly. However, everything he rolls is at a -1. So he's always rolling a -1.
Rips.
Sam is the Ghost of Krues. He is the Wormhole faction. First of all, everybody knows his planet is out in the middle of nowhere in the Delta Wormhole. He moves faster if he goes through a wormhole. He also can go through wormholes that aren't connected to each other. He can go from A to B, B to A. He even has a super where he can go like any wormhole to anywhere.
Were you this one last time?
No, I don't think Sam was last.
Sam was pirates.
Sam
That was Pirates last time.
All right.
People got very annoyed.
Seth is a nomad. He's like, we've talked about the Illuminati or the Rothschilds. We're not really sure. He's like this. He's like this secret banker faction that's got the coolest flagship in the game that can also take hits via mechs that are nowhere near it. So his flagship's like the coolest in the game, I think, personally. He already starts with it. That's great. But he's a trade faction. He's a faction that does favors for people. Maddie is the Emirates of Hakan. She is also a trade faction. She has the most commodities out of any faction. She's got the most planets out of any faction. She's just really good at making deals with money, specifically, across the board, with anybody.
So she'll pay
She's
for
just like, yes.
she'll pay for everything, or she'll... Yeah, okay.
She can just make trade deals, like really good.
Give us this.
Yeah.
Money
I can
equals
trade with
more
anyone.
units.
All right.
Can I have one?
Astrid and
I want to hold it.
Astrid and Triss are the Federation of Soul. They're the humans.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Federation of Soul. Humans.
Nice.
Astrid and Chris are the Federation of Soul. They're the humans. They're the most well-rounded, I think, but they just have like the best infantry in the game, and the best carrier in the game, which means that they can take things and hold them very well.
Like you
They're
mean
just the most-
transportation?
Yeah, they're just most general, well-rounded faction. Their faction abilities also give you action cards, right? Oh yeah, you can just spend an action to just get 2 infantry. Wow, that's awesome.
So what's an action?
Funny
It's
jump.
below
It just says
collision.
action.
Okay.
Right?
So spend
Action is your turn.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, you gain an additional command token. So you're always going to be going more than anybody else. So every time during the status phase when we're updating things, you get more command tokens than everybody else.
Wow.
So the Federation of Soul is widely regarded as the most broken faction, but it's really good. since it's Twilight Imperium, it doesn't matter if your faction's broken or if it's weak, because
Nobody's broken if everybody is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have like the best units.
Don't tell them about me.
Alright, Kenneth's the Extra Kingdom. He's the Peace Turtles.
The Peace Turtles.
Kenneth doesn't play
Peace
them.
Turtles.
Kenneth doesn't play them like that. He can stop people from like attacking him, right, Kenneth?
Yes, my faction. That's
He's also got a really big freaking
Yeah,
ball.
he can basically stop people from attacking him, but he can also like quash political deals. So He's technically a political faction. And it doesn't play in that way.
Aren't you basically?
I will this time.
Aren't you Master Oogway with an atomic bomb? Pretty much.
Okay.
Gandhi with
I have
the new-
space cannons.
He's Gandhi. He's
Dude,
Gandhi.
you play Civ 6 though, that's pretty much how Gandhi goes.
Dude, that's all
Oh
this
my
is.
He's never
gosh.
peaceful in Civ 6.
That is
No,
it.
he
I
isn't.
think we've already gone a little too late with this explanation. Do we have any questions?
Yes. I don't have my hero card. Do you know where it is?
Yeah, we'll have to find it.
Very good.
It's not in your box.
Nah, dude.
Okay, pause the video.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, dear.
Stop recording.